Okay, I wanted to take you through some of the trades from yesterday. Now, I didn't personally trade yesterday. I was away. I had some business to do with one of my other businesses, but there were some really good trades. And why was it really good trades? Because there was some really bad news. Okay, bad news came out and all trades went south. You can see the bad news came out at 10 o'clock, which was a bad ISM services report from the US market. And so you would be waiting for that trade, the news to come out. Wait until it comes out and see what direction it is, so you have your direction for the trades that you're going to take during the day. So bad came out bad, and obviously we're going to take shorts. The market started selling off. We go to our watch list and we select shorts only. We only look for shorts. And SIAI, this came out a nice breakout of the range at 10, just after 10 o'clock. You could have taken short from about this area, and you would have got in at around 11:09. And you would have stayed in that trade all the way down to nearly 3 p.m. at 11:70. It's only 20 cents, but still a nice trade that would have stuck in there. Really nice trade. We're going to go to the next chart. So the next chart here we have Morgan Stanley. Again, waiting till the news comes out. You can see at the news a massive drop in Morgan Stanley. Is a bank, obviously. And so we would have taken the trade around this area, which was the 1668. Held onto that trade all the way down. You might have sold 50% of your trade as it breaks the 10 period moving average, but held 50% of your trade until it broke the 20 period moving average, and I would say not even breaks but closes above the 20 period moving average. And even there you could possibly have exited the last 50% of your position at around 1628. So your first part of the position you would have exited at 1635, taking 30 cents on that first position, 30 cents, and another 7 cents on the second half of your position. Okay, next chart. There's a lot to go through. It was a really good day for trading if you were trading yesterday. So the next chart here we have DNR, Danbury Resources. After the news at 10 o'clock, it sold off, broke through the opening range, and here we go. We would have entered around this sort of area, and you would have got in at around 1885 and stuck in the trade. Maybe you would have sold off 50% of your position at 1850, which is a profit of 35 cents, but the rest of the 50% you would have stuck in and exited the last 15 cents at 1810. That would have been 70 cents profit on that trade. Absolutely fantastic, absolutely brilliant, nothing better. YELP, another fantastic trade for that day yesterday. Breakout of the opening range, exited 50% of your position at the break of the 10 period moving average, exited the last half of your position at the break of the 20, and here we have entered 2270, 50% taken off at 2160, and the last 50% at 2120. Nice trade. Okay, moving on to the next one. FLIR. Okay, well, we wouldn't have taken that. Why wouldn't we have taken that? Because it was long and we were favoring shorts, because we're going with the highest probability, and because the market's selling off, we want to short all our stocks. Okay, market selling off, we want to go with the tide and we want to short stocks. So this one over here would be a no trade. No trade. Okay, here we go to the next one.
Congratulations, you've got mail.
Sorry about that. The next one we go to the NDAQ. I'm just going to turn that down because it's very loud. Okay, so the NDAQ, which is an NDAQ OMX Group INC. And you see again, break after the 10 o'clock news, break of the opening range. You know, you would have had your stop, I reckon, around this area. anyway on your entry, because you entered at 23.90. Stop position, yeah, at least you know, even 25 points. Your stop would have been here, well within that limit. You would have seen this and maybe held on. You could see it then sold off big time after that. You would have entered at this area 23.90 and exited at around 23.48. Wow, that's 50 cents on that trade. 50 cents, nice trade, nice trade. Going on to the next one, IVZ. Okay, this one you would entered at a good break of the opening range. Entered at 24.66. Sold off all the way. You would have exited first 50% around this area and second 50% around this area as well, and that is at 24.40. so 20 cents on that trade. Not bad. That's $200 on $1,000, 1,000 shares traded. Not bad whatsoever. But there were plenty of these yesterday. Here's GMCR. I'm just going to make it slightly bigger so you can see it all come out. Okay, and you would have entered around this area over here, the break of the opening range. That was 28.93. Stuck in the trade, exited 50% at 25.89. That is a $3 trade, guys. That is a massive trade. $3. That's $3,000 dollars on $1,000 trade, 1,000 shares trade. That would absolutely, just one trade there would have made your day. Okay, going on to the next one. There was plenty of these. PFG. So PFG, you see, break through the opening range at 27.19. Okay, you would have stuck in there. You maybe would have exited 50% over here, but I would have probably stuck in. You would see the stayed within the 20 period moving average. And there was probably a lot of volume going to the south anyway. I would have stuck with this trade. The whole market was tanking off and I would have stuck with it. Maybe sold 50% here, maybe 50% here, but stuck all the way down here. You would have still had 50% coming out at 26.75, 65. So that's almost a 40-50 cent trade. That's $500 on 1,000 shares. That's huge, guys. Huge. Okay, next trade. There's plenty of these. Next one here, we've got HNT, HealthNet INC, and you entered around 27.60 and exited 50% at 26.60. That's $1. That's $1,000 on 1,000 shares, guys. That's huge. That's massive. Nice day. And of course, I wasn't there to trade it because I wasn't there, unfortunately. Okay, here we have another opening range breakout. Okay, breakout, bounced off the opening range, and you would have entered around this area, 28.18, gone down to the 27.76. You would have been in that whole time. That is 30 cents. That's $300, guys. $300 on 1,000 shares. Okay, not everybody's trading that amount of sort of that sort of account, but you know, some of you might be. Here we go, another fantastic trade. Look at that opening range. Okay, breakthrough, came back up, but you can see held the thing. Oh, you would have still entered because this is the close of yesterday, the day before. You would have entered after break of this. Even if you only caught it over there, you would have still entered at, let's see, entered at 28.60 and exited at 27.62. So wow, that is almost another dollar per share. So 1,000 shares, that would have been $1,000, and 100 shares, that would have been $100 just off that one trade. And here we have another one. INTC entered around, let's see, entered around 29.04, exit around 28.56. Okay, well, that's not much, but still it's 10 cents. It's not bad, not bad whatsoever. But there's plenty of these shares. I'm going to go through very quickly. I'm not going to bore you with these, but Thor, look at Thor. That's amazing. From 31.61 and to 29. That is nearly $2, nearly $1.60. It's huge, huge day, absolutely huge. Let's go next day, next stock. What will we do with this one? We've learned that we don't take trades in the opposite direction to the way the market is going. So this one would be no trade. Absolutely no trade. We do not want to trade these. Fantastic. I know you're learning this stuff. Well done. And here we go to the next one. Okay, so AKAM, another fantastic trade for today if you were trading breakouts. Here we have breakouts of the opening range at 33.56 and come back in at 33.14. That's 40 cents. That's huge. That's $400 on 1,000 shares. Okay, let's go to the next one. ALTR. This is huge. Oh my golly. Entered at 35.16. Exited 34.56. That's 60 cents. 60 cents. It's huge. XLNX. Oh my golly. Here's another big one. Entered at 35.10. Exited 34.73. That's 30-40 cents. Huge. Nice trade. Here we've got another one. ABC. Entered. Okay, maybe you will scratch this or break even. That's fine. One break even out of how many winners? Here we've got NTAP. We have, that is 39 entry and 38.40. That's 60 cents, guys. 60 cents. Sorry, I can't write, but that is a lot. That is 60 cents. Crazy stuff. Okay, and of course I wasn't there to trade it, was I? No, I was away, of course. So here's another entry on WDC, another trade, 39.96, fantastic entry. Exit at 38.94, another fantastic trade. As you can see, there was just loads of these. DPS, another fantastic trade. Macy's, no trade obviously. Rig, okay, maybe break even on that one. LTD, no trade obviously. MER, oh fantastic, look at this. Entry at 53.37. Exit at 51.61. Fantastic. That is nearly $2, guys. Nearly $2. That is net $2,000 on $1,000 trade. You need $2 profit on each of those shares that you traded. That would have been absolutely amazing. Hess, look at that. Awesome. AMP, awesome. EMN, awesome. PGN, no trade. WTDW, Weight Watchers, awesome. Yum, oh, this is amazing. Look at this. This would make your year. Just look at this. 73.58 entry and 71.85. That's nearly $2. Stayed perfectly within the 10 period move average. Exactly, perfect trade. Entry over here, lots of volume down. Exit at the break of the 10 moving average. You would have stayed in 100% of your shares the whole way down. That was absolutely fantastic trade. I hope you can see that trading breakouts really works. It is a great way to earn money. Not every day is the best day, but on a day like this, you know, what more could you ask for? Bad news, thank you. We love bad news. We love any news that's a big market mover. Any news that's a big market mover, we absolutely love. And so this day was absolutely fantastic. If you were trading it, if you're trading breakouts, you would have made an absolute fortune on this day.